He thought the music covered his voice. He thought because he was leaning over the balcony railing, whispering into her ear, that I couldn't hear him. By the time the song ended, he had lost his job, his home, and he was about to owe me $35,000. Honey, grab a drink, maybe a double, because the level of audacity I'm about to serve you is going to raise your blood pressure. Let me tell you how we got to the night that ruined Ryan's life. I need you to understand the setup. I'm 34, I work in high-end logistics, and I make good money. I own my condo in the city, I pay the bills, and for the last 2 years I have been bankrolling Ryan. Ryan is 29, a fitness consultant, which is code for unemployed with a ring light, and he has expensive taste that his bank account cannot support. For his 30th birthday, he didn't just want a dinner, he wanted an event. He gave me a list, a literal spreadsheet, you guys. He wanted 30 people, specifically high-value individuals, a curated playlist, a specific caterer, and top-shelf liquor. I spent 3 weeks stressing over this. I spent $400 on balloons alone because he wanted this specific matte black arch that he saw on Instagram. Total cost? About $3,000 on my card, because Ryan is in between clients right now. I came home early that Friday to set up. I was sweating, moving furniture, polishing the glassware, making sure the lighting was exactly how he liked it. He walked in at 6, holding a gym bag, and didn't even say hello. He did a lap around the living room, hands on his hips, like a health inspector. The sushi platter looks a little small, doesn't it? He said. I looked at him. I'm wiping sweat off my forehead, and he's criticizing the spicy tuna. It's $300 worth of sushi, Ryan. It's fine. He sighed. That heavy, dramatic sigh he does when he wants me to feel like I failed him. And the lighting, it's too bright. It looks like a cafeteria in here. Can we dim it? I want a vibe, babe. A vibe. He went to shower without saying thank you. When he came out, he was wearing a suit I bought him for Christmas. A tailored navy suit that cost me more than my first car. He looked good, I won't lie, but there was this energy coming off him. Arrogant, dismissive. He looked at the gift I had placed on the counter. A small wrapped box. Is that it? He asked. Open it, I said, trying to keep the smile on my face. He ripped the paper. Inside was a vintage chronograph watch. Not a Rolex, but a beautiful, restored piece from the 70s. I spent weeks hunting it down because he mentioned liking vintage styles. He held it up, shook his wrist, and frowned. It's quaint, he said. Not really St. Bart's energy, is it? St. Bart's. He'd been obsessed with that island for months. He put the watch back in the box, didn't even put it on, and slid it across the counter like it was a coaster. Thanks, babe. Can you get the ice? People will be here in 10. I stood there staring at that watch, feeling this cold knot form in my stomach. But I ignored it. I put on my party face. I played the good girlfriend. The guests started arriving at 7:30. It was a mix of his gym buddies and people from the boutique consulting firm where he was trying to get a contract. And then she walked in, Evelyn, the VP of operations at the firm. She's 48, stunning, dripping in designer labels, and recently divorced. She walked in like she owned the mortgage on my building. She didn't introduce herself to me. She walked straight to Ryan, kissed him on the cheek, way too close to the corner of his mouth, and handed him a gift bag. He opened it. It was a bottle of scotch. The kind you can't buy at the store, the kind that costs $600. For the celebration, she purred. Ryan laughed. A laugh I had never heard before. A rich, fake, charming laugh. Evelyn, you're too generous. You spoil me. I was in the kitchen around 9 o'clock, refilling the ice bucket because apparently I was the hired help at my own boyfriend's party. I could see the balcony through the sliding glass door. The music was thumping inside, loud bass, people shouting over the track. But I had left the balcony door cracked open just an inch to let some air in, and the acoustics were weird. The sound from outside was cutting right through the music inside. Ryan was leaning against the railing. Evelyn was next to him. Her hand was on his forearm, rubbing his sleeve. He seems nice, though, Evelyn said. She was talking about me. She called me he because she hadn't bothered to learn my name, or maybe she just didn't care. Ryan laughed again, that cruel, dismissive sound. Nice is a placeholder, Evelyn. Nice doesn't pay for St. Bart's. Nice doesn't get you into the rooms that matter. I need someone who matches my ambition, someone who's actually going somewhere. Evelyn smiled and slid her hand from his arm to the small of his back. You deserve someone on your level, she said. Someone who can show you the world, not just a condo in the suburbs. We live in the city center, by the way. My hands started shaking. The ice tongs clamored against the metal bucket. Ryan turned his head. He saw me through the glass. He didn't look scared. He didn't look guilty. He looked annoyed. He slid the door open. Babe, the drinks are empty, he snapped. These are important people. Can you get it together? I looked at him. I looked at Evelyn, who was sipping her drink and staring at the skyline, pretending I didn't exist. No, I said. Ryan blinked. Excuse me. You heard me, I said. My voice was steady, which was a miracle because my heart was hammering against my ribs like a trapped bird. He stepped closer, lowering his voice to a hiss. You are embarrassing me. Go get the vodka. Say it again, I said, louder this time. What you just told her. About Nice not paying for St. Bart's. Say it to my face. The music was still playing, but the people nearest to us stopped talking. They sensed the shift in atmospheric pressure. Ryan rolled his eyes. You're hysterical. You've had too much wine. I haven't had a drop, I said, but I did pay for every drop everyone else is drinking. I paid for this suit. I paid for the decorations. I paid for the rent on this apartment you're standing in. Oh my God, here we go, Ryan groaned, looking back at Evelyn for sympathy. Always throwing money in my face. You'll never be classy, Elena. That's why you'll never be enough for me. He said it, loud, in front of 30 people. If you are already shook, hit that like button, because I haven't even gotten to the worst part yet, the level of petty I was about to unleash. It was biblical. I smiled. It wasn't a nice smile. Maybe you're right, I said. I walked over to the sound system. I didn't rush. I unplugged the aux cord. The bass cut out instantly. The room went dead silent. 30 faces turned to look at me. Party's over, I announced. Everyone out now. One of his gym bros laughed. Good one. I walked to the front door and threw it open. Not a joke. This is my apartment. The lease is in my name. The party is over. Get out. Ryan stormed over, his face purple. What are you doing? You are humiliated me. You can't just kick people out. Watch me, I said. You have exactly 30 minutes to pack a bag and leave, Ryan. If you aren't gone by 10 o'clock, I'm calling the cops to have you removed for trespassing. You can't kick me out. I live here. You are a guest, I corrected him. You are not on the lease. You don't pay bills. You are a guest who has overstayed his welcome. Evelyn walked up then, clutching her purse. This is incredibly unprofessional, she sneered. You're making a scene. I looked her dead in the eye. And you're sleeping with your subordinate. I wonder what the ethics board at your firm would say about that. Her face went pale. She turned on her heel and walked out without another word. The guests scrambled. It was awkward. It was beautiful. Within 15 minutes, the apartment was empty except for me, Ryan, and my best friend Sarah, who I had texted to come stand by me as a witness. Ryan was throwing clothes into a duffel bag, screaming the whole time, "You're crazy. You're a psycho. You're going to regret this." "Tick-tock, Ryan," I said, checking my phone. 10 minutes. He stopped at the door, bags in hand. He looked at me with pure venom. "I'm going to St. Bart's with Evelyn next week anyway. I don't need you. I never needed you." "Good," I said. "Give me my key." He threw it on the floor. "Keep it. I'm upgrading." He slammed the door. Sarah looked at me. "Are you okay?" "No," I said. "I'm angry, and I have work to do." I didn't sleep that night. I drove to a 24-hour copy center because I didn't trust my home printer not to jam. I had a plan. I logged into our shared cloud account, the one he forgot I had access to. I found a folder labeled Travel. There it was. Itinerary for St. Bart's. 2 tickets, one for Evelyn, one for Ryan. Dated 3 weeks ago. But that wasn't the juice. The juice was the expenses folder inside that. Ryan had been using my credit card, the one I gave him for emergencies, to fund his little affair. Dinners, hotel rooms, Uber rides to her condo. I pulled the statements. I highlighted every single charge. Total stolen, $8,200, but I didn't stop there. I went through his emails. He was logged in on the iPad he left on the couch. I found emails between him and Evelyn discussing how to phase me out after he secured a contract with her firm. I printed everything, 3 binders full of evidence. By 4 Gauss a.m., I was done. At 8 SAS a.m., I called a lawyer. Sarah recommended her, a woman named Veronica who eats men like Ryan for breakfast. I walked into her office at 10 Gauss a.m. I showed her the credit card statements. I showed her the emails. "This is fraud," Veronica said, flipping through the pages. "Civil theft, we can sue him for every dime." "What about her?" I asked. "Did she know he was using your card?" "I don't know, but she definitely knows about the company policy regarding fraternization." Veronica smiled. "Let's focus on him first. He's going to escalate. When he does, we nail him." And escalate he did. 2 days later, Ryan realized he had left his expensive gaming PC at my place. He texted me, "I'm coming over to get my computer. Be there in 20. I didn't reply. I forwarded the text to Veronica. He showed up. He banged on the door. I didn't answer. He started screaming in the hallway, "Open the door, you crazy bitch. It's my property." I called the building security. They came up and escorted him out. But before he left, he kicked my door hard enough to leave a scuff mark. That night, he went on social media. He posted a long, tearful video on Instagram. "I finally escaped a toxic relationship," he told the camera, wiping away a fake tear. "She was financially abusive. She controlled who I could talk to. She isolated me. I'm just glad to be out." He didn't name me, but everyone knew. My friends were texting me. His friends were commenting, "Stay strong, King." I was furious. I wanted to scream. I wanted to comment on the post and drag him. Make sure you're subscribed because the update I'm about to drop is going to make you scream. Veronica told me to do nothing. "Let him talk," she said. "He's digging his own grave." Then he made a mistake. He texted a mutual friend asking them to lie for him. "Hey, if anyone asks, tell them Elena was hitting me. I need to build a case so I can get my stuff back." The friend screenshot it and sent it to me immediately. "Boom," Veronica said when I sent it to her. "Defamation per se. Conspiracy. We have him." We filed the lawsuit the next day. Defamation, civil theft, and emotional distress. We sued him for $50,000, but I wasn't done. I took the evidence of the affair, the emails, the St. Bart's itinerary, the photos of them together on company time, and I sent a certified letter to the HR department of Evelyn's firm. I didn't ask for anything. I just wrote, "I believe this information is relevant to your current compliance investigation regarding conflict of interest." 3 days later, I got a text from Ryan. "What did you do?" Then another, "You ruined my life. I'm going to kill you." I screenshot the death threat. I sent it to the police. I got a restraining order granted within 4 hours. Here is the fallout. Evelyn was fired immediately. Turns out sleeping with a subordinate and expensing their dinners to the company account is a big no-no. Who knew? Since she was fired for cause, she lost her severance. Ryan lost his contract before it even started. But the best part was the mediation. We sat in a conference room 2 months later. Ryan looked terrible. He wasn't wearing the Navy suit. He was wearing a hoodie. He looked tired. His lawyer, a guy who looked like he practiced out of a strip mall, tried to argue that Ryan's Instagram post was free speech. Veronica slid the screenshot across the table, the one where he asked his friend to lie about me hitting him. "This isn't free speech," Veronica said calmly. "This is malice. We will go to trial. We will win. And the judgment will be public record forever." Ryan's lawyer whispered to him. Ryan put his head in his hands. "What do you want?" his lawyer asked. "I want my $8,200 back," I said. "I want $20,000 in damages for the defamation. And I want a public retraction." "He doesn't have that kind of money," the lawyer said. "Then he can get a payment plan," I said. We settled. He owes me $35,000 total, including legal fees. He has to pay me $500 a month for the next 6 years. Every month when that notification pops up on my phone, "Payment received from Ryan," I smile. He had to post a retraction. It stayed up for 30 days. I lied about Elena. She was never abusive. I made false statements to hurt her reputation. It was humiliating for him. A few weeks ago, I was walking past a coffee shop downtown. I saw him. He was wearing an apron. He was wiping down tables. He looked up and saw me. He froze. I looked at his apron. I looked at his face. And then I looked at my watch, the nice one I bought for myself with his first settlement check. I didn't say a word. I just kept walking. I'm thriving, you guys. I got a promotion last month. I'm dating a guy who actually pays for dinner and doesn't have a spreadsheet for his birthday. And Ryan, he's serving lattes and paying me rent for the space he occupies in his own nightmares. So let me ask you this. If your partner called you placeholder in front of your own friends, would you have just kicked them out, or would you have burned their life to the ground like I did? Let me know in the comments.